All right, guys, give me a second. I am making sure that everything is all set up here on my end. Let's see. See if this thing shows up. Give it a sec. Do, 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 do. All right, looks like I am up. Hopefully you guys had a great 4th of July weekend or week or Friday weekend, and hopefully you had a nice long weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So once again, I just want to say thanks for coming over, taking your time to watch this. I really do appreciate it. Um, my intentions are to have these 5-minute-ish Fridays every Friday at noon. Like I said, sometimes they'll last 5 minutes, sometimes they'll last 30 minutes, depending on the topic. Or if you have other topics that you would like me to cover, please let me know. And I can cover that up. Give me a second. I just want to make sure that everything's coming up here. I can see. One more second. I don't know if I'm having. There we go. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Yep, everything's up. So, like I was saying, if you have any topics that you'd like me to cover, please feel free to, you can either drop them in the chat, or shoot me an email, call me, schedule a time with me, and I'll go over it for you. So, but in any event, today's topics is just 5 ways to find notes today. I like to just start off by saying I am not a financial planner or CPA. This video is for educational purposes only. Please consult a qualified professional for advice. This is just what I'm doing in my business, how I run my business. So any information that you get from me or other people, please always vet it, and then always talk to a financial planner, an attorney, or CPA, because your mileage may vary. So the first option that you can find notes are, and this is by far the best one for me, are banks and credit unions, just by doing a direct outreach. Basically, you just contact smaller banks, look for, ask for the special asset managers, the chief credit risk officer, loan workout department, and ask for their non-performing or charge-off loans. They're low competition but requires patience and persistence. Um, it's one of those things where, I mean, I've literally gone weeks or a month initial contact with the person, the special asset manager, and then several weeks would go by before they would even get back with me or before they would even send me anything. But the key is just to be persistent and patient. Put them on your contact, your CRM, your contact relationship management software. Hopefully you have some type of auto reply or some type of auto responder. Just put them in there and just basically just follow up with them. And I'll tell you, one of the big ways of reaching out to these special asset managers is via LinkedIn. You can just search the name of the bank and then type in special asset managers. I've done that before, and maybe I'll do that on the next 5-minute Friday. Just go into a little bit more detail, and then search for the special asset managers, and then reach out to them that way. Oftentimes they'll have their email address and their direct cell phone, or I'm sorry, their direct number, and also their direct email. That way you can just directly reach out to them. And like I said, just be patient and just be very persistent with it. The second way is the online note platforms, websites like PaperStack and Note Direct. I've purchased a few notes via PaperStack. Haven't bought anything through Notes Direct, but I have bought several notes from PaperStack. But I've also developed really good relationships with other note investors on PaperStack. And so often what you'll do is you'll just go to these websites, and PaperStack has a really good system to where, and it's real easy, you can go through and just filter by your state, the asset type, like mortgage, the deed of trust, or contract for deed. And then you can, like I was saying before, you can just filter by a location. You can filter by performing, non-performing note. This is really low-hanging fruit, where it's really good for beginners, easy access, and it's verified listing. Brent Berkey and and Rick Allen over there, they're just really good people. And they just stand behind their system there at PaperStack. And like I said, I've never purchased anything from Notes Direct, but I have purchased from PaperStack, so I would highly recommend that. The third way is private sellers and other investors. Network with note investors ready to offload assets. Join Facebook groups, LinkedIn threads, and note meetups. I actually heard an investor say that Facebook groups are a complete waste of time. I should say 1,000,000% disagree with this. That is the furthest thing from the truth. I've developed really good relationships with meeting people within these Facebook groups. The thing is just being persistent. Now, obviously you're going to have to vet everybody that you come in contact with, but just do your due diligence on everybody. And like I was saying, I've developed some really great relationships with people that I've met on Facebook. I've also bought quite a few notes from people that I met in these Facebook groups. Post to these groups regularly that you buy mortgages and you buy for your own portfolio. You're not a broker. Look for partials, resells, or seller finance loans. I buy these things all the time. I have tons of people reaching out to me via these Facebook groups. The fourth way is through conferences and industry events. Events like Diversified Mortgage Expo, DME, Cash Flow, and IMN, the Information Management Network. I haven't gone to the IMN. But the DME, I haven't got to the Cash Flow Expo, but DME is ran by Nathan Turner, and the Cash Flow Expo is ran by Fred Rury and Tracy Z. I'm telling you, just really top-notch people. They put on a really good event, and these shows, these expos are really meant for building relationships with your fellow note investor, so that way, they get to know you, you get to know them. They can put a face, with with your Facebook image or persona or LinkedIn persona, right? So that way you're building your network. And then, you like I said before, you meet sellers direct, brokers and servicers, and build this way you'll build absolute trust, the best source for long-term deal flow. And the fifth way is note brokers and tapes. Build relationships with brokers who share tapes, bulk loans, look for performing and non-performing options. Obviously, please vet the source. Not all brokers are equal. Be careful of the joker brokers. I had a list. I had a tape for sale, and I actually had it was a brokered it to another broker, brokered it to another broker, and then tried brokering it back to me. So they were they were trying to sell me my own note. So just be careful. Not all brokers are the same. I do work with brokers. Few and far between, just because I've developed relationships with these guys, and they have my absolute trust. But when you're building these relationships, just once again, please always do your due diligence on them, and just be careful. And then lastly, just one little point: seller financing does not equal fresh opportunity. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about sending direct mail to seller financing. I do not do that. I 100% think that's a complete complete waste of time. I think you're better off developing relationships with bankers and other note investors, so that way you're going directly to those sources. And this is a thing, right? With these seller finance individuals, not only are you sending letters to them, but so are all the other note investors, right? So, I just had a conversation the other day with a guy that was he was sending out letters and just not seeing the returns on it. So I'll go ahead and I'll read this. Please do not send out direct mail to sellers who have taken back a mortgage, also known as seller financing. In my opinion, you're wasting your time and money. They're already getting letters from other note buyers. You'll get better results by building genuine relationships with bankers and other note investors. But if you want, just go ahead and just try it for yourself. Send out letters. There are platforms out there where you could buy seller finance notes, or seller list with individuals that's taken back seller financing, or you can just go to your county and just do a quick search on that, and you can pull that list and directly send that out to them. So it's one of those things, right? You're going to have to test it to verify it for your own self. I personally, like I said, I personally do not send out letters to these. I send out letters to accredited investors and also investors who have invested with lent money out on a self-directed IRA. I think your money is better well spent going that route than sending this out to seller finance notes. So, but like I said, if you want to try it, please feel free to to try that. And lastly, just to recap, pick one and start now. Don't try to do all five at once. Pick one and go deep. Start small, stay consistent. The best deals come from relationships and follow up. And so I don't know if there's any questions or comments. If you have them, you can go ahead and drop them in the chat. I don't see anything. And if you found this helpful, tap follow, and I'll break down more strategies next week. If you want to email me, you can email me at Larry at ljhinvestments.com, or shoot me a text or call me. That's my office number, 513-301-1468. Or if you want to schedule a 30-minute call, you can hit me up, at your convenience. That talkwithlarryhoffman.com, it goes to a Calendly link. That way you can just book a time with me. And hang on a second, let me get rid of that. Move back here to my image. There we go. So hey, if you want to schedule a time, just go ahead and schedule talkwithlarryhoffman.com. Like I said, that's a 30-minute, or that's a Calendly link, a link to a Calendly link where you can schedule a 30-minute call with me. And we could talk about whatever topic that you have. So I don't see any questions, comments. All right. So I will talk to you guys later. And if you have anything, please feel free to go ahead and reach out to me. All right, guys. I'll talk to you. Bye.